Hi, I'm Nikki Scott. I am the host of Addict Talk. I have a guest here today. Her name is Justice Russell, and I'm going to read a little bio about her, and then will start our conversation. Thank you for coming in today.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
This is Justice Russell. She's a mom. She is family oriented. She loves her family. The person she loves the most is her son. He's 11 years old. She loves spending time with him. She works hard. She has a job. She takes care of herself. She's very independent. She has a great work ethic. She's very disciplined. She's independent. She owns her own home and property. She's a loyal person to her friends and family, and she's a believer in God. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Before we get started, I'm going to read the mission statement of this platform. It's Addict Talk. It's whatever's in your addict. We're going to talk about it. The purpose of this, or the mission of this, is to empower the silenced to speak their truth and prioritize their mental well-being across all spheres of life. So really, we're talking about mental health.
Yeah.
There's a very big crisis. Always has been, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So that was why I wanted to start this. The purpose for this is to create a safe space for the vulnerable to communicate while understanding each other, which is the foundation for finding lasting answers. And so I have lots of questions about lots of things, and I don't always have the answers, and sometimes I can't find the answers, but with speaking with people and interacting, I actually find peace in my life, and I find answers. So that's why I wanted to start this. So that's why I invited Justice in today. She's happens to be a friend of mine, and so we're going to have this conversation, and I hope that it helps other people. I hope it helps other people. I love that. So we're going to start off. What was your childhood like?
Well, my mother and my dad, they never got married, and it was kind of like a one-night stand, really, situation. So they were never together. I lived with my mother up until I was 9. And then she lost custody of me due to some addiction issues. And then I lived with my father from the age of 9 to right before my 14th birthday. Me and his wife did not get along good, so I ended up leaving from my dad's and moving in with my grandmother. And my grandmother raised me until I was 18.
That's amazing. So I can see how, like, lots of people could probably relate to your story. And it's unfortunate, and it's trials and tribulations, and it's amazing that you're such an amazing person because you're a great friend, you're very loving, you don't appear to be bitter, and I know that sometimes you get angry at life or things that are happening or circumstances, but you have thrived just from your situation, and that's what I love about you. Who was your mentor growing up?
My mentor is definitely my grandmother, Gilda.
Okay, that's amazing. That's good, and I think a lot of people can relate to that as well, especially in times today. There are a lot of grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, and that's a fact, due to maybe drugs or neglect, things like that. So thank God for our grandparents.
Yes.
And so you still stay in touch with her today?
Yes, we talk every day for like an hour or two on the phone every day. She actually lives in Tennessee now.
Okay.
So I miss her a lot, but we talk every day, and I try to go see her at least once every year.
I love that, and there goes that loyalty. You're a loyal family member. So what does peace mean to you? Because you just talked about some things that are real difficult.
Yeah.
That were difficult in your life, and that's hard. That's. I mean, some people could be very upset and disgruntled and bitter. Thank God you had Gilda in your life, but do you have peace?
Yes, I have peace, but I would be lying if I said I didn't struggle from time to time.
Yes.
I take antidepressants,
Okay.
so that helps me a lot. And being very independent has helped me.
Yes.
Watching my son grow, I love him very much, and just seeing him happy and knowing that my grandmother is healthy and good, that's what really brings me peace.
Do you think that the antidepressants, you had to seek out medication because of the past, or do you think, like, I'm asking because I don't know, because I'm not on antidepressants. I'm not saying that I probably don't need to be, just saying I'm not, because I've had struggles too as well, so I get it. And there's been times when I felt very depressed and lonely and sad. So what made you, what was the point where you thought, I need to get on some medication? Or did somebody just recommend that, like a doctor or a pediatrician or somebody?
Well, I definitely personally believe that the way that you are raised does kind of make or break you in a certain sense mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not have the worst childhood. I mean, there's obviously people who have it, way worse than me.
Mm-hmm.
But what really got me, I guess, I believe personally, was just when I lived with my dad. Like when I lived with my mom, I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid. I hardly don't even remember much. But then whenever I moved in with my dad, I was getting into kind of like my teen years. And I'm not putting the blame on his wife, but, that was a very important time in my life. And just the drama and the chaos, I believe, kind of at that age affected me. And then as I got into like 16 and 17, I really started noticing it. And actually, my mom is the one who told me. I didn't even know there was a such thing really as medication. But I kind of told her what was going on and how I felt, and she recommended it, and I got on it, and it has helped me a lot.
Okay, I was gonna say, has it made a difference?
Yes.
A change? So really, you can say, and people don't realize that in those formative years, the teenage years, this is when people start self-medicating, and that's the mental health aspect of it. And you chose not to do that. Thank you, Lord. And your son keeps you grounded. I know that. So, and that's what makes you a fantastic mother. I know you are. You're a great mother. So, getting on those antidepressants, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing for anybody. Some people may look at it negatively, but I commend you for admitting it, talking about it, and wanting to share that, because it may help someone who's going through the same thing. But going back to those formative years and being a teenager, that's when a lot of people become rebellious. And that's when they do start self-medicate or get on, start drinking, doing drugs. And thank goodness you chose not to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Gilda had a big part in that too, trying to keep you, in a safe space.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So I think that's great that you were able to share that. I appreciate that. So what do you think about the difference between happiness and peace? So think about happiness. It's the external factors.
Yes.
Things that make you happy just for the instance.
Yeah, like
do you think
instant gratification?
Yes, yes. So what do you think about that as to peace? Because I think people are confused about that, happiness and peace.
Well, peace is, for me, is like being okay with what is,
Yes.
Not expecting, well, I'm going to be happy if I get this, or I'm going to be happy if I do that. Just being okay with where you are in life.
Yeah. So, like, that's the internal.
Yes.
So, even when the chaos is going on around you, you're still okay with yourself. You can kind of block that noise out, and you can still move on.
Yes.
And that's what drives you to go to work, take care of your child, get up every day, and live life. And that's what I think a lot of people, lines get blurred there. They think that, okay, everything's around me is crashing down on top of me. And I feel that way too. There are days when I feel really, really like I'm doomed. And it's a terrible feeling. And I could just lay in the bed and not do anything. But what gives me inner peace is to know, like what you said, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
I know this is going on around me, but I can only control the variables that I can control.
Amen.
And so that's what, and remember, that's what I wrote this book about.
Yes.
It's only controlling the variables that you can control. You can't help the chaos that's going on around you.
Yes.
Have you ever tried to stop a tornado? You can't. I mean, you can't. Have you ever tried to control one? Tell it to go left or right?
Yeah.
No, it can't. So I think that's where, you have found peace in your life is, you can't control what's going on around you, but you can control the aspects you can control.
Yes.
So that's taking care of your son, taking care of your business, taking care of your life to make yourself feel better.
Yes.
So I agree. That's how I feel too. I'm on that same track, but I do fall in and out of that though too as well.
So do I.
So what are some things that maybe that kind of get you off track? What are some things that you have to deal with?
Just everyday life stuff.
maybe how to pay a bill, or
Yes.
sometimes
Stress, just
Yeah.
little things like that.
maintenance to a car.
Yes. Oh,
You know.
gosh, I just had to deal with that actually.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like you think, okay, I can pay all my bills this month, and then all of a sudden
Something goes
you get a
wrong.
flat tire,
Yeah.
and it's something as simple as a flat tire, but the tire can't be fixed, so you have to get a new tire.
Yeah.
People don't understand that extra whatever money
Mhm.
you had not allotted for,
Yeah.
and a lot of Americans, and me as well, live paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
and so we base our income and what our lifestyle's like off of what we make.
Yeah.
So when something extra happens, it's very, very stressful. Exactly. Thank you for helping me with that word. And I agree, because I live that life too. So on days like that, and I mean, is it okay to feel sad and,
Yes.
and all that? Yeah, absolutely. But how do you get out of it? Like, what do you do to help yourself, bring yourself out of that, to just keep going?
Well, I sit in it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I sit and I think about it, and I say to myself, what is stressing going to do? Like, it's not going to fix the issue, and I just sit there and I have a conversation with God, and I feel like God gives me ideas, or like He'll tell me, like, these ideas will just pop in my head, and I'm like, okay, I can do this and this, and then I figure everything out, but really I just have to give it all to God.
That's a great answer. Same. And I think, what do you think? And not everybody thinks that way. People sometimes they don't trust God. They know God, but they don't put their faith and trust in God. How's that worked for you?
It has worked tremendously. Like, that's how I've based my entire life. Just when I think things are not going to work out, it always works out. So I've almost gotten to a point of where, like, really I don't stress as much, because I know God's going to figure out a way.
Yes.
So
That's amazing. I love that. And I would agree. But being a follower of Christ, sometimes I doubt, and I don't say I doubt you, God. I don't say look up and say that, but I have doubt, and that means I'm doubting Him, and then I have to say, nope, He's got me, and it may mean sacrificing something.
Yeah.
I may have to move some things around, and I may have to do without this, the comfort of this, to make this work.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people can relate to that. I think these are all relatable situations that people are put in that we don't talk about enough, because our mental health is so important.
Yeah.
And whether or not you take a medication for it, prescription medication prescribed by a doctor, or you have faith in God, which I think both works for you.
Yes.
And I think that works for a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because in this day and time, our children are getting younger and younger that are suffering from mental health issues. We have a mental health crisis, and I want people to be able to have conversations, because as adults, we struggle, and we can't deny it anymore. And I think the thing that we need to all focus on is only control the variables that you can control. Be peaceful on purpose.
Yes.
What are times when you've had to be peaceful on purpose? So think about it. When you're peaceful on purpose, that means you have to make a conscious decision. I'm not going to fight this battle. I'm not doing this. I'm going to have peace within myself. And block it all out.
Well, I'd have to say with my neighbor here recently.
Okay. So you've had some neighbor issues, which people can relate to, because y'all don't see eye to eye maybe on some things, and you don't have to go into detail about that. But so how are you peaceful on purpose? Because I'm not saying that the neighbor was agitating or anything like that, but somehow y'all have had a conflict. So what have you had to do to be peaceful on purpose? Because I think people need to hear this, because personally, I'm one that, okay, let's talk.
That's very much me too.
So I'm not being like that anymore. I don't want to be that. So tell me what you got to do.
Well, I think for one, it's like I'm 30 years old, and it's kind of, like I'm a grown woman and acting out of character. I'm too grown for that. And whenever I have a conflict with somebody, and it's very hard for me to have a conflict with somebody because I'm so easy to get along with. So if somebody comes at me with an issue or a problem, I just feel like, honestly, I just listen to what they say and I try to understand where they're coming from, because I feel like there's something going on with them. It's like an inner situation. So I try to be respectful and just let them say what they have to say, and I'm just nice about it. I don't. Now, back in the day, I used to not be like that.
Right. And a lot of people,
Yeah.
no, that's
peaceful on purpose.
people, yeah, we have to. But I mean, like, you know, as you know, just human nature, you want to take up for yourself. And if you had a little bit of a rough life, like you had to defend yourself, and so it's fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
And so I always chose the fight.
Yeah.
Whether it's with words or whatever, and I don't want that, but I'm seeing too much of that, and I think that's what people are choosing. And of course, running away or freezing, people can. That's your vulnerability, and they'll play on that too. So, being peaceful on purpose is just like you said. You are not judging. Yeah. You're accepting what they say, and you're just trying to use kind words, because you are, I was just writing some notes, you are kind by nature. But if somebody pushes you, of course you're going to defend yourself. I'm the same way. I'm kind. I'm naturally kind. But if you push me to a point, then I'm going to fight, flight, or freeze. And I'm Gen X. So Gen X, we were pretty rough. We stayed outside. We survived. And so my natural instinct is to fight. And no, that's not me. That's not my nature, but I will. But I'm trying to get away from that. And I want other people to get away from that. Too. We have too many videos out there of people fighting for no reason, and it's awful. I don't want to see that anymore. So we're trying to be peaceful on purpose. So I did like your explanation of that. So,
thank you.
Do you have any advice for me for my life? Sure, I'm older than you, and I've lived here longer than you have, but you're on the right track. You're on the right path. So do you have advice for me? Like what I can do to make my life more peaceful?
I think just living every day your true, authentic self. You know, do what makes you happy. And
don't be fake.
Yeah.
Don't be fake. Yeah. Because you think, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
A lot of times I think people are fake, and that's when people will read you, and then they don't trust you. And I mean, I need trust.
Yeah.
So.
And you're such a good person.
Thank you. Well, you are too.
She truly is. I love her to death.
Thank you. Well, you're a good person too.
And actually, earlier when he was like, "Who's your mentor?" You know, my grandmother. But I look up to you a lot too.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm so glad you came. Yes.
I'm so glad I'm in your life. You're helping me. Wait, you think I'm helping you? You're helping me too. And that's the great thing about being peaceful on purpose. Only controlling variables you can control, because you can control what you want in your life. And if we were our old selves and we just reacted, because I react. What's that going to do? What's that going to do for a relationship or anything? I mean, we all are stressed out. So I'm here to help you. You're here to help me. We support one another. That's what this is about. We want to support each other. So do you have any advice for anybody out there that might be struggling with inner peace, or just life in general?
I feel like just talk to God, pray if you believe in God like I do. Take it one day at a time. Breathe. It's going to be okay. I mean, it's going to be okay.
And have a support system.
Yeah, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. All of us go through it. So.
Yeah. And if you have one person, and it doesn't have to be a family member, just like we're friends, we know each other. She can reach out to me anytime. I'm going to be there to support her, and I'm not here to judge her at all. I've told her that. I've said I don't judge, because I don't have room to judge anybody, because I've done enough. I've done enough in my life, and probably still do. I'm not bragging about it, but every day I have to ask for forgiveness. I go to church every Sunday to be. We live in the Bible Belt, and I go to a Baptist church, so we call it being saved. I'm saved every Sunday. I have to go in and ask for forgiveness and repent every Sunday, and I'm not bragging about that. I want to be more righteous. I'm trying to be, but it's human nature to not. But I'm not making excuses. Like I do. I wake up every day trying to be peaceful on purpose and trying to live by that. It's very difficult, so let's support each other.
Yeah.
And I want anybody to join us, please.
Yes.
tune in each week because we're going to have more conversations with more people are going to come in. Will you come back again?
Yes, I will.
Oh gosh, I would love it. Thank you for coming in today. You are just so sweet, and I'm so glad that God put you in my life. And we're going to continue to have conversations. And I want you to please support us and be peaceful on purpose, and find ways to only control the variables that you can control in your life. And I appreciate you tuning in to Addict Talk. Please subscribe, like, follow, share, comment, all of it, please, because that will continue to support us so that we can continue to make these this content. Thank you.
And one more thing.
Okay.
If y'all have not read this book, it's Chick by Nikki Scott, a memoir. I've read it. I read it in 2 days, and actually, I don't even like reading, to be honest, but it was that good. I read it. Well, as soon as I opened the book, I sort of had to read it from front to end. But it's so good, so I just had to give the book a shout out.
Thank you. And she's not paid to say that either. She's been a true friend right now, but I appreciate it. Yes, please check it out. I think that you can relate to everything that happens in the book, and the theme of it is only control the variables that you can control. Your life will be so much better. It took me a long time to figure that out, so I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
I love you.
You.